We get kids from all over. The most typical reason for a child to come into foster care is probably neglect or child abuse. And so we get referrals from child welfare to say, hey, we need a home for this particular child. He's being removed for X, Y, Z. And most times when kids come into care for one thing, we notice 2 or 3 other things we have concerns with as well. So we're happy to get them in as soon as possible. But the most general typical reason is for neglect. Most of our kids come into care with trauma. They've been exposed to maybe domestic violence. They've been exposed to unsanitary living conditions. And even being removed from their parents can be traumatizing. So we really work with our resource parents to really be trauma informed, to get the necessary training and skills so that they can really work with the children who have been removed. So we're a pretty unique team, a pretty large team. When you first come into foster care, you're greeted with a family recruiter. We have a whole approvals team that expedites the process for families so that we can have families come on board. We also have a team of social workers and a team of behavioral support counselors. And so our social workers and our behavioral support counselors, they really work with the family and the children, working on identified problems or challenges that the youth may have, or working on their strengths. So we have a handful of supervisors as well who partake in the process of really wrapping the family, the foster family around and the child around to make sure that this is a successful placement for the youth during the duration of their time. On average, most children will experience a placement move from foster home to foster home about 4 to 5 times during their span of being in foster care. But with Aldea, our average is 1 time. One of the things that Aldea provides is forever families. And that's one thing that I enjoy about being with Aldea. We provide adoptions for our youth in care. Most of the children that come into foster care, they do reunify with their biological families. However, there is a percentage of youth in care that are not able to reunify with their biological families. And in that case, we are very, very blessed to have families who are willing to be forever families for these children. And throughout the years that I've been here, I've witnessed so many adoptions. And it's been a beautiful sight to see, being at the judges' corridors and observing when a kid gets sworn in to be an adoptee. I've also heard from previous families who've adopted 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, and they provide an update for me. I've also observed sibling sets get adopted, and that's one thing that's really hard, is to be able to provide a home where siblings are able to stay together, to grow together, and to be adopted together. Your donations can change a life.